diretora, além do Ingmar Bergman, logicamente.
Ingmar Bergman, die andere, die dich so...
No, she's into German.
And later Russian.
What about Chinese?
Which influences you had without Bergman, another director? You like Woody Allen, who did it?
Yeah, well, I never worked with Woody Allen, but you know, I think he's a wonderful film director. Personal experiences. I had a German director, actually, who worked with Bertolt Brecht, called Peter Palitsch, with the Berliner Ensemble. And we did 2 Bertolt Brecht plays, and I learned so much from him on the stage to show 2 sides all the time of a human being. Okay, you show the good now, because in the Caucasian Kreide Kreuz, I don't know the English word, she's a wonderful heroine, but all the time he made me know, okay, she's she's like a hero, but always remember, once you have showed the good side, also turn the coin around and show the negative side, because that makes it more interesting. And I had a wonderful director called Jose Quintero. He was Spanish. I loved him, maybe most of all, except for Ingmar. And we did Oisin O'Neill together. We did Anne Christie on Broadway, and we did Scenes for Misforgotten in Norway. And he allowed me to believe that you can be as personal and real on the stage as anything you are in life, as long as it is not your own tears that are falling, it is the tears of the character. He was so open with offering who he was, and as a director I learned a lot, because he told so much about himself, so I was never shy about showing him on stage who I was. And Jan Troell, who made the Emigrants and the New Land, I learned a lot from him. But Woody Allen, I would have liked to do it. I would have liked to do comedy. I've never done comedy. I don't understand it, because, you know, because this is how I look at life. I have a smile within me, but I never get to do it, except, you know, in these Hollywood films, which, you know, wasn't so good. And I never get to do a comedy. Can I tell you a story about Woody Allen and Ingmar Bergman?
Please.
Yes.
Story about
Woody Allen and Bergman. And this is a true story. You may all know that Woody Allen admires Ingmar Bergman. Or, you know, in his films, there's always posters and whatever. And so I was in New York on Broadway doing The Doll's House of Henry Gibson. And Woody Allen was all the time inviting me out for dinner. Not for me, you know, he wanted to talk about Ingmar Bergman. And not a word about, will I be in a movie about with him? No, talk about Ingmar Bergman. Then Ingmar phones me and he says he wants to come to New York and see me do The Doll's House. And I tell this to Woody Allen on our dinner, one of our dinners, and Woody Allen, he's coming here? I said, yes. And Woody Allen said, do you think I can meet him? Yeah, I think so. And so I call Ingmar and I say, Woody Allen would like to meet you. And Ingmar also, he's a little vain too, says, oh yes, he would like that. And so, and Ingmar is not good at traveling, so he traveled for only for 2 days. And he came with his wife, he was then remarried, and we didn't like each other too much, but it was. So they came, and Woody and I was to come after the matinee, which Ingmar was to see, the matinee, for dinner at Hotel Pierre, a luxury hotel in New York. And so Ingmar sees the matinee and he goes back to his hotel, and Woody comes and gets me outside the theater, and suddenly he had a long limousine and he had a driver with white gloves and whatever, and Ingmar was never going to see that, so I don't know why that was such a big thing. But anyway, Woody and I, we drive to Hotel Pierre and we take the lift up and we knock on the door. And the door opens, and there is Ingmar, and here is Woody, and they look at each other. Two geniuses meet, you know. And they were quiet, you know, they took each other's hands, absolutely quiet. And so we go in, and we sit at the table, and the server is giving us dinner. This is the truth. They do not speak. They look at each other. It's true. And Ingrid, his wife, and I, who did not like each other particularly, we talked, and you know, she makes lovely food, and we talked about meatballs and things like that. I'm not even a cook, but I talked about meatballs. And the two geniuses, you know, they looked at each other, and women, I saw their faces, and they had all these expressions in their faces, and we were sitting there, and the dinner was over, and we were to go home, and they take each other's hands. It's the truth. It's the truth. And in the car on the way home, Woody says to me, "Thank you, that was..." And I gotta come home to my flat, and Ingmar is on the phone, and "Thank you, Liv." Oh, it was great for them, you know, because they would never know, except that they were this thing. And Woody is making these wonderful articles now in the papers, you know. I know the truth. They never spoke.